Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
Hey, all you Minties, Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for my overview of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe Edition, Book 1 from Boom Studios. So, join me. So here we have the latest in the Power Rangers Deluxe Editions from Boom Studios. And this is one that has brought a lot of confusion to people because they thought it was a reprint of the original Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Year 1. The title is a little bit different, and it's a little the same. And I'll show you here in a little bit when we when I show you the spines and where it goes in the reading order of Power Rangers. But first I wanted to check out the book itself, the aesthetics of it and the build of it. So we have Mighty Morphin and then Power Rangers on this side. Book 1, Deluxe Edition. We have the new Green Ranger, which I'll talk a little bit about when we open up the book. And then we have the spine here. It is a flat spine. Boom Studios, Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, Ryan Parrott, L.L. McKinney, Frank Gogol, Andre Fratino, and Margot Rena, Francesco Mortarino, and Simone Ragazzoni, and then Oriol Roig. Sorry about the butchering of those names. And then the back of the book, which is the same thing they've been doing for a long time, except I think my first printing had Saban. But retail price is $75, and the art is on board. And I literally just finished reading this right before doing this overview, so I am going to be talking about the stories in here. But first, to clarify some things, where does this fit into the reading order of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? It would look something like this, because I know people sometimes put these before the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. However, these do cross over with the Shattered Grid and the Necessary Evil stories. So, I'm just keeping them there. And you can kind of see why there was a confusion, right? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Year 1, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Book 1. So I can see why some people were confused and asking me, where does this fit in? Is it a reprint? It is not a reprint. It looks very similar. It's Year 1 over here has the original Green Ranger, and Book 1 over here has the new Green Ranger, which we'll talk about. So before reading this, I strongly suggest reading the stories here. These are collected also in trade paperbacks, and of course there was a big beautiful box set that was put through Kickstarter, and then some retailers ended up getting it. But this is the way the books look together in my chronological order of reading. These stories take place before the Green Ranger was found, or before Rita sent the Green Ranger, if you watch the TV show. And then some of these stories cross over with the Necessary Evil. So we're going to crack the book open and talk about the stories found in here, and then talk about the build. However, before I get started, I do want to say there's going to be some spoilers going into this. But not so much the stories in here, but more so the stories that came before. I'm assuming if you're watching this overview, you have already read what previously happened, so this won't be spoilers for you. But just in case, I do like to warn people ahead of time that there will be some minor spoiler talks. Nothing big and heavy as to what happens here. Just kind of the setup and what's going on and the status quo of the Power Rangers during these two series. Because we are talking about Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, 2 ongoing series. Alright, let's go ahead and crack this book open. And we have some green end sheets. Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, and some love from the internet about the series. The designers and the behind the scenes at Boom Studios. And then the credits here, all of it written by Ryan Parrott, who is writing both Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. And then illustrated by Marco Rena and Walter Bayamonte as the colorist. And then you have the Power Ranger series that is illustrated by Francesco Mortarino. And then these wonderful folks helping him with that particular art. And you also have the colorists and letterers that are credited here. No cover art, just like the rest of the deluxe editions. And Boom usually does that. Boom usually puts their covers in the back. So collected in here is the new series of Mighty Morphin 1 through 8, Power Rangers 1 through 8, Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness number 1, and Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness number 1. And there's also a new short story that we'll look at here in a second, because they always add one little short story that's never been collected anywhere nor printed in any comic. This is a continuation. This is not a relaunch. I think there's another misconception going on with Power Rangers as far as the comics. A big multiverse clash didn't happen. There wasn't a Crisis on Infinite Power Rangers, despite of what Shattered Grid and Necessary Evil brought to the table. This is a continuation of those stories. And if you're not familiar with those stories, really quickly, it is a reimagining of Power Rangers after the Green Ranger saga. So after Tommy Oliver showed up and kicked the crap out of the Power Rangers and ended up joining the Power Rangers when he decided, hey, wait a minute, it's this evil candle that's making me bad, turned on Rita. That's what these stories are. But they're more adult versions of those particular stories. They're not the type of stories that, we're geared more towards a younger audience, like you saw on the TV show, mainly due to the restrictions of the ratings and, of course, the producers and editors at the time. So it's an adult retelling with new stories. I think that's probably the best way I can describe it. So what this is after the events of Necessary Evil. So if you have read those hardcovers, by all means, jump into this. So we have the Power Rangers here that are trying to figure out who this new Green Ranger is that has shown up. We have Bulk and Skull back, and actually Skull was dating this young lady named Candace. All of this starts with this mystery at the very beginning, that in a different planet thousands and thousands of years ago, these warriors are fighting these monsters, and as it's revealed, one of those warriors is Zordon. So it goes into his past and his ties with other characters, some of them villains, that he did not share with the Rangers. So they get attacked by monsters, the Power Rangers go into battle, and sure enough, the Green Ranger shows up out of nowhere and uses some new technique that was not available to Tommy when he was the Green Ranger. So during this time, we have like the Thunder Megazords, right? And we have Sabra and the White Ranger, who is now leading the Power Rangers. But we also have another team, which we'll get to here in a second. And we're also dealing with the return of Lord Zed, a little more overpowered, because while the Power Rangers are dealing with the idea of who the heck could be the Green Ranger, we have the characters of Goldar, Finster, Squat, and Babu trying to resurrect the fallen leader. And then we learn that Candace Clark, Skull's girlfriend, has a secret of her own that you can find out for yourself. Now you're probably asking yourself, wait a minute, what about the Omega Rangers? Well, that's what the Power Rangers issues are. So Mighty Morphin is about the Earth team. You have the characters of Tommy Oliver leading the team, Kim being the Pink Ranger, Aisha, Adam, and Rocky with Billy. So the original Red, Yellow, and Black Ranger have been replaced. And if you've read those comics, this is why I was saying that you may not want to watch this part if you haven't read those previous comics that I talked about. The original Red Ranger, Jason, and the original Black Ranger, Zach, and the original Yellow Ranger, Trini, are now known as the Omega Rangers. They're more like a space police. I don't even want to call them that. They're dealing with something else that's coming to Earth. They're dealing with a big evil. And these things are called the Imperials. And they need the help of Lord Durkhan to go and defeat these new nemesis, these new, more powerful nemesis. Because he's the only one that knows how to stop him. He's the only one that's dealt with them. And of course, the Power Rangers on Earth are like, no, that guy's behind bars. And Zordon's like, no, you can't take him with you. So against Zordon and their friends' wishes, they decide to break out Lord Drakon and take him with them on a space mission to go and try to stop the Imperials. Zordon, however, hires bounty hunters to go after them. And they're not alone. Like, Drakon ends up joining them. And we have this character right here, Z. It's XI. I'm not really sure how they go about pronouncing it because I would think it's 11. But I never hear anybody say 11 through this book. They just say Z. And then we have this cat right here who holds his own secrets. This is Yale of Zard. And all of them are going on the space mission to stop the Imperials. And that's what this is. You have the Earth team here dealing with the return of Lord Zed and also a new Green Ranger. And whose side is the Green Ranger on? Because he seems like he's one of the good guys, but, well, maybe not. And then, of course, you have the Omega Rangers dealing with this new evil and bounty hunters going after them. And also, do they trust Lord Drakon? Like, how long will it be before he ends up betraying them? A couple of twists and turns. There is the revelation of who the new Green Ranger is, and also what Lord Drakon wants out of this. Now, out of both series, I really like the Power Ranger series. The Omega Rangers just intrigue me. Maybe it's because I'm tired of Earth and I want to go into space for a while and go adventuring there. Now, the big question is, do you need to read both series in case you're just getting these in trade paperbacks? Not really, but it's so much more fun if you're reading both series at the same time and going back and forth. And like I said, the secrets that are being revealed in Mighty Morphin will affect what's happening currently in Power Rangers. You do have the return of Grace. She does show up through here. Not just her, but also the rest of Promethea. And this is one of my favorite stories when they go to this world. And this is one of my favorite stories where Zack and Jason end up going to this world and run across Astronema, Princess of Evil. But she's not alone. She's also here with Ecliptor, who ends up telling the story later on in the one-shot. And I thought that was a nice little surprise because she herself has just got done killing a bunch of Power Rangers. There's a lot of confusion and just misunderstandings that end up throwing some of the Omega Rangers in jail. But her appearance in here is followed by the Heir to the Darkness. So this is the story of Lady Astronema, or Princess of Evil, and how she got that title, and how Ecliptor was her mentor through here, and all the lies she's been told. And it's a really interesting story expanding on this character. And you also get the Edge of Darkness story in here, which is the story of the Phantom Ranger taking place in the past and showcasing a couple of surprises in here, a couple of characters that you may be familiar with, and some from the original series. Of course, Power Rangers, not the Sentai series, but that appeared in Sentai. But like Vile. Vile is a character that was his name in the Power Rangers series. You get the short story In the Spirit Of, that tells the story of these two youngsters that are familiar with the power of the Power Rangers. And then all the way in the back is the back matter. So we have the cover gallery, which is the main reason why I bought the very first deluxe edition. I love the fact that every cover was intact. They give the credit to the cover artist, and it was just such a nice surprise. Now, some of these covers, of course, have nothing to do with what's going on inside the book. Now, if you're asking yourself, wait a second, what about the Secret of Zordon and the ties that I was hinting at? Does that get resolved? It does, but it also leaves to some other things opening up. And just skipping a couple of covers because it does spoil some huge surprises, and I don't want to be that guy. So one of them, of course, being the identity of the new Green Ranger. That is so awesome. Dan Mora, I don't know how he has time to do this and a monthly comic. I think he was doing 2 monthly comics during this time. Some nice covers here, also by Mora. Yeah, this guy right here. Where is he? She's talking about Vile. Some more gorgeous covers. And then we have character designs. And these are done by Dan Mora. And other Power Ranger books. The end sheets there and the binding. It is sewn binding, and the book has 512 pages, printed in this thick, glossy paper. And to kind of give you an idea of the way that it lays over, wanted to go back to the spread page here, showcasing both covers together. But that's it. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this deluxe edition, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcon at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this deluxe edition. Let me know in the comments down below if you are currently reading Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, if you ended up getting that big, beautiful box set, if you got them individually, or if you were so confused about the way that these books are numbered and mapped. So I hope I was able to answer some questions, because I've had a lot of questions about this particular book, but I hope I was able to clarify a lot of things. If you still have questions, though, please leave those comments down below. And leave those comments down below in case you read this. Check out our Patreon and Spread Shop. Links are in the description of the video, and it is a phenomenal way to support the channel. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Much love.